What's going on, guys? Well, what you're looking at here are some very interesting padlocks. Got these from Banggood, but right off the bat, this was part of a set of 3. And when I opened the package, which I mistakenly opened outside, a bunch of parts just fell everywhere. The third lock in this set, which is another acrylic lock, which I was actually most interested in of all 3 because it was like a tumbler style lock. It was totally different. That one completely fell apart. I don't know what happened, but there were literally probably 60 or 70 pieces, like little tiny pins and springs, and oh my God, as soon as it fell open, I'm like, there's no way I'm even gonna be able to collect all these little parts to put it back together. So I scrapped it, so it was a loss. So let me just point that out. There's supposed to be a third lock here. Now it's 22 bucks, I believe, for the set of 3. You can buy these individually, okay? Very important to note. Because I think that if I can do this again, I would just get the one acrylic one, which was less than 10 bucks. I want to say like $7, maybe $8, $9, something like that, for just the one. So if you're interested in this, you don't have to get the set of 3. Now the third one, like I said, was an acrylic one, which is no longer existing. Half of it's in the lawn somewhere, the other half's in the garbage. But the second lock here is a cutaway. So we have here is a full metal lock. It has a heft to it. It feels like a regular standard padlock, but it's cut away so you can see how these locks function. Now the purpose of these, you're like, well, why would you get something like this? This is to see literally how a padlock works, okay? More specifically, it's for people who do lock picking. If you have a great understanding of how the internals function, you know, and you have a grasp for what's actually happening when you put a key in a lock and turning it, it helps you to study how to pick them better. Most people who do lock picking know what's going on, but to physically see it like this, especially this acrylic one, it's amazing. I'm gonna give you a demo in just a second here. But my advice is this one, although it's cool and it gives you a reverse look at this, because these are locks together. When you flip it over, that's what it looks like. So it gives you a back view of it. I don't think it's necessary. I like the acrylic one 100 times better because not only can you see everything, but it's lighter. If you want the real feel of the lock, that's where this one comes in, where it has the actual weight of a standard padlock, whereas this one doesn't. It feels very lightweight because obviously it's plastic. All right, so when we take a look at this, let me pop this open, take this spare key. These did come with spare keys. The acrylic came with 2 keys, and the other 2 locks came with 3 keys each. All right, and again, that third lock was a different style completely, which I wanted to check out, but can't obviously. So you do get spare keys in case you lose one or whatever. So this is super cool. This shows you how a padlock works, and this is how all padlocks work. All right, so let's flip this over, and obviously with the acrylic one, you can get both views. Again, cut away on one side, not the other. All right, so if you don't know, this is how padlocks work. This part here is called the shackle. Okay, and the shackle, you see there's a spring here. So the spring tension that wants to shoot this out at all times. However, if I give you kind of, well, I can't give you top view yet until it's open, but there's 2 pieces, okay? They're actually preventing this from opening. You can see the cutouts on the shackle, and as I twist that lock, you can see it sucks it in almost. Let me give you a top view here, what this looks like. You see how there's 2 separate pieces here? There's a spring keeping them apart at all times. That's what keeps the shackle in and locked. But when you rotate your key, it sucks them in. Okay? Let me zoom in. Usually get a little better quality if I zoom in. There we go. So you can see there's a cutout there. Okay, that's preventing this from opening. When you turn your key, again, okay, you're sucking those pieces in, and when it pushes in far enough, it releases that shackle. All right? Now, of course, there's many pieces and parts that go into your padlock here. Obviously, we have the centerpiece here. All right, we have all of our pins. You see all these springs. There's spring tension pushing all these pins in and blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to get into the specifics on this kind of stuff. I'm no expert. I know how it works, but I don't know the official names. I forget the names of all this kind of stuff. I don't know if that's the core or what that's called. Lockpicking people will probably hate, you know, watching someone make up stuff, so I'm not going to do that. But what I am going to show you is basically how it works, okay? So there's spring tension on this. It wants to open, but it can't. It's locked in there. So in order to release it, you have to suck these pieces in. You can't suck these pieces in until all these pins are lined up evenly to create what's, I know, called a shear point, okay? When you can actually turn this because they're all lined up, okay? When the key is out, all these little pins here are misaligned, okay? It prevents this from opening, of course, and it prevents this from rotating. So if you stick a piece of metal in here, and just whatever piece of metal, and you try to turn it, it doesn't work. Even when you put the key in, it doesn't matter how far it goes in, it's not going to turn until it's fully seated all the way down. So all the pins are evenly aligned, which allows this to rotate. Pretty damn cool, huh? So basically, we have a clear acrylic padlock. All right, and it is very strong. I don't think this plastic's going to break anytime soon, but it's crystal clear. You can see all the parts. You can see exactly how this functions. I mean, it's really, really cool. If you're into lock picking, this is like a must-have. You could pick this lock and watch exactly what you're doing. You can watch how you're, getting past each pin. Pretty damn cool. So yeah, I mean, to just get the one, and that's what I would recommend the most, is just get the one. Don't bother with this unless, like I said, if you want a collection of these things, because they sell different ones too on the website. Yeah, maybe if you're collecting a bunch of them, if you're like seriously into lock picking. But if you just want to learn how to pick a padlock, once you figure this out, once you study how all these parts move, and you have a really good grasp, like I said, like a really fine understanding of the mechanics of how this works, you can pick any padlock. All right, of this style. Anyway, there's different styles and different types of keys. Yeah, so anyway, these things are super, super cool. The third padlock, I actually stopped the video here to go grab another lock that I got from Banggood, and it's this one. It says top security. This is a completely different style of padlock, okay? You can see the keys. We have a traditional key, the key that everyone's used to seeing. All right, it has little peaks and ridges, and obviously these are all aligned with the pins in that specific lock. So when the key is inserted, all the pins are evenly across, which allows that centerpiece to rotate. Okay, that's a traditional key that we're all used to, right? This uses a different type of key, okay, where it's like a 3D machine key. This lock is certainly interesting, definitely different. I mean, that's why I wanted the set, because I believe the third one was this style. But it's definitely more secure. You can't pick this like you would pick something like that. And I do have a reason to have a padlock, so I want to get something that was more secure. But anyway, just really interesting stuff. I love lock picking. I'm no expert. That's why you're not seeing lock picking videos or how to lock pick. There's real basic information out there. I've done reviews in the past on lock pick sets that come with, like, an amateur, basically handbook on how to pick locks. I mean, it's really straightforward. So anyway, I just wanted to make this video, touch upon this subject, because I know there's a lot of people out there who have an interest in lock picking and stuff. If you have a padlock, after watching some videos on how to pick them and realizing that if you have no experience at all, you can learn this in about 5 minutes, it may make you like second guess putting padlocks on your sheds or locking up your boats or bicycles or anything like that. You might want to get something that's a little bit more advanced or something completely different altogether. But yeah, it's just pretty cool. Tons of interest in lock picking, so that's why I wanted to share this with you guys. Again, my last bit of advice there is they do sell these individually. You don't necessarily have to get the set. I don't think one of your locks will fall apart like mine. That's kind of a freak thing. These two are very, very sturdy. I've been playing with them a lot since I got them. But they do sell them individually, okay? So you can nitpick and maybe save some money, or just get specifically what you want as opposed to 3. You may not be using all 3, So that's all. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you have an awesome day, and I'll see you soon. Take care.